My name is Casey Koomen, and I farm together with my wife Monique. Our farm name is Koomen Farms Limited, and so we're just north of Tabor, but it is officially, well, it used to be Tabor East, I guess, but now it's Tabor. Been farming at this spot for about 30 years now, I guess since 1989. So, and yeah, before that, I was in different areas. I was working for other farmers actually up until that point, and then started renting some land in the mid 80s, and then bought this place in 1989. So yeah, so to reduce my carbon footprint or the effect on climate change, whatever. Yeah, like I said earlier about the Roundup Ready beets, for instance, we make way less passes. Like I said, we used to band spray up to 5, sometimes 6 times, even on, if you had some bad weeds. So now I'm spraying twice, so, and a way wider sprayer, so way less passes. I don't cultivate anymore, row crop cultivation, so there's another 3-4 passes. So burn way less fuel. I don't work up the soil all the time to release the carbon or whatever every time I work the soil. So yeah, that is one thing I guess I do, and also all my irrigation pumps are electric, so they're 3-phase electric pumps. So there's no natural gas pump standing there blaring away. So I guess that helps a little bit too. Yeah, so we use for technologies, we use RTK GPS auto steer on most of my tractors. We also have all our pivots on FieldNet, which is a remote. I can control it remotely, but it also lets me know if there's an issue, so it makes it very efficient. Especially trying to do most of the farming by myself. So also when there is an issue, the pivot will send me a text knowing, so I would know when I'm further away that there's an issue and I better go take care of it. Also, yeah, little things like my tractor, for instance, it has an IVT transmission, which means that you can dial in the speed and the tractor will figure out what's the most efficient way to run between the gear it picks and the RPM of the engine. So that way you can have a little bit larger tractor than you would maybe need for, say, seeding or whatever, but because it runs so efficiently, it basically doesn't burn any more fuel than a regular like a smaller tractor, right? So yeah, those technologies, and there's probably a couple more things that I can't think of right now, but especially the auto steer, yeah, that is that changed a lot on our farm for sure. Yeah, so it's hard to pick which one actually, to be honest, but yeah, ever since we started with our auto steer, it's it makes it so much easier to make sure that your first and or last row are right at the end of the field, so that you don't have to give up a large gap because you're 12-row planter kind of thing, right? Also, putting in long days when I'm by myself, it's so much more relaxing, to just put it on the auto steer and just, you don't have to stare at your marker line all day long and try to keep straight and all that. So, but also the pivot too, though. Like I'm really happy that I ended up getting that technology to, to know that when you're working somewhere, that you don't have to go and chase the pivots at the other fields all the time, making sure that everything's okay. You look on your screen, you see the pressure is good, you see it's still running. So yeah, it's both of those are actually very important to me. So yeah, I guess the most interesting thing or coolest thing about farming would be that's not in all cases obviously, but in most cases it's what you put into it is what you get out of it. So if you put a lot of effort into getting a nice seed bed and try to get a nice stand, you can just see it grow every day when you check your field. And I've done it for a long time, and it still is, I really like to see a nice crop come, and obviously a lot of things are out of people's hands. I mean, get a bad storm or whatever come through, but normally though, I find that if you put a lot of effort into growing a really nice crop, it usually you get the benefit from seeing a nice crop grow and harvesting a nice crop. And yeah, so that always gives me a good satisfaction, I guess.